Hi, I'm Kevin Stewart and glad you could join us. We're here today with Michelle Painchaud, and she is the owner and the president of Painchaud Performance Group. This is an organization which focuses on employee engagement as well as visioning and goal setting, and actually we've caught up to her today here at an FCC vision and goal setting workshop. Let's get right to the hard question, and that is why are we talking so much about visioning and goal setting? It's some information that you quote, I believe it's from Harvard, suggesting that 9 out of 10 vision or strategies fail to be successful. It doesn't mean that they fail, they don't even get off of paper. So if it's almost guaranteed that the vast majority are going to fail, why are we spending so much time talking about this subject?
Because the studies have shown that those who actually have visions with an execution plan are more successful. And let me preface sort of the word success, and the success isn't only just the financial success, but it's almost that, that balance in life. So there is the family relationships, health, as well as the financial. So the research clearly indicates that those who have really strong visions, but with an action plan, are more successful.
So why are we so bad at this?
We don't know how. It's uncomfortable because we don't know how. And we get caught up, as you say, in the tactical fires. We're putting out fires. So it's not uncommon for an organization to spend a day or two talking strategy, putting together an action plan. They take it back to the workplace and they become tactical. They're putting out fires, thus it gets dusty, it gets lost, it gets forgotten. The other reason, a sort of major common element, if you will, is the lack of accountability. So you have a group of people, the management team, the owners, who put together the vision and the action plan, but there is no accountability. So it's critical that there is an owner of each of the action steps, as well as the timeline.
You talk about when we establish goals and vision setting that we, and I'll quote this, we forget about the crocodiles. What does that mean?
When you take a look at a vision, I sort of refer to the vision as the house on the hill. So it's sort of, here's where you are today and here's where you want to go. We often make a mistake of not really recognizing those crocodiles as we go over the bridge to our house on the hill, if you will, of what those crocodiles or hurdles might be. So if we don't take time to sort of try to understand or proactively plan for those potential mishaps, crises, or things that could impact our vision, our crocodiles will get us.
You've talked about the importance of feedback. Feedback is always a bit of a tricky one when it comes to, you know, your dreams and your vision setting and such. Who are we talking about getting feedback from?
Well, there's two elements, and I'll get to the who in a second. There's two elements to sharing your vision, of why you should. If we share our vision with others, it makes us more accountable. So if somebody publicly says, I'm going to do this with this department or this with, you know, this goal, suddenly we're more apt to make that happen. So that happens. We as individuals aren't very good at goal setting or visioning because we've tried it once or twice and we've failed. And some of the reasons for that is because they have been too grandiose, unrealistic. So having that feedback can sometimes give us the reality check to say, think about it again, have you thought about this? Who to get the feedback from is a very, very good question. And the feedback should come from people you trust, whose opinions you respect, and whose feedback you can take to heart and do something about. So it's a really good question, but making it public is powerful and helps you understand the reality.
So give us an example of a farm, if you can, that has benefited from establishing a vision and goal setting.
There was a farm in Eastern Canada with 3 young boys who, as they began to mature, in their 20s, had different ideas in terms of what they wanted with the farm and their own futures. 3 of them had different values in terms of what they believed was important. So as a result of that, they were starting to become somewhat disengaged and then somewhat confused about the farm and a little hostile because they had different visions. Bringing them together and having a joint vision got them on the same page, got them energized, and got them communicating.
So what do we do though if we have a farm team that, let's just say, not everybody gets along or not everyone respects each other's opinions? In other words, they don't share a common vision.
With a vision, the vision starts before we ask people to actually start putting their vision together. The exercise is take a look at your values. And we have people spend, an hour or two talking about the values, those key fundamental things that are important to them. Mm-hmm. Values such as health, family. For some people it could be prestige, for some people it could be freedom, travel. But it's a really good exercise to look at your core about those really key important things. From those values, you can then get a family or a group of owners to take a look at the common values and create a vision based on the common values, then respecting the different values within each other.
So let me just finish with what we call the so what question. So what if I don't do this? Some people will, and I don't have time, I'm a decent farmer, I make a decent living, I know how to grow food. So what if I don't sit down and set a vision or set goals?
A very good question. And if we're doing a workshop where I have 50, 60 people in a room, it's not uncommon that there are 20 or 30% that feel that way, or that feel that they've come to the point that they're at without ever having set a vision. Interestingly enough, however, is the question of what could you have accomplished or what could be different if you had set goals. Or the next question is how engaged or how excited are you about the future? And goal setting and visioning does that for us. And I give an example of you're packing for a trip. And it's interesting because when somebody sets a trip, suddenly they have all of the action plan together. They have, the hotel, the flight, and all the details taken care of. And a week or two before, they're more productive, they're more motivated, and they're more engaged. Mm-hmm. Take the concept of planning a trip into a vision. And as an organization, if you have something to strive, something to get you excited, you're more motivated, you're more engaged, you're happier, you're more productive. So it's a very, very powerful tool. But the biggest message about visioning is vision without action is a hallucination. So without the execution, having a vision is useless.
Michelle, I appreciate you taking the time to visit with us today.
Great. Thank you.